Hello my viewers, you're welcome to Frank Nutri Facts YouTube channel where we discuss only about healthy lifestyle. On today's episode, I'm going to be showing us how to handle a rimless frame so that it can serve the purpose for which it is bought. A lot of people prefer wearing rimless, so I'm going to be explaining how to handle rimless frame. Before I go on this topic, I would like you to subscribe to my channel, share these videos for others to watch, particularly to your relatives and friends that wear glasses or have one eye challenge or the other. You may be saving a soul and helping one on how to wear their glasses right. So without wasting so much of your time, let's get started. When an optometrist has finished seeing a patient and have concluded on the fact that the patient has a refractive error or an accommodative anomaly and has decided to recommend a lens to take care of that very refractive error, the next thing that comes up in mind is what type of frame can we fit these lenses into? Now, in the optical industry, we have basically three types of frame that we can fit our lenses into. We have what we call full rimmed frame, or what you call a rimmed frame. A rimmed frame is a frame that protects a lens all round. It does not leave the lens to any form of exposure. An example of a rimmed frame is like what I'm wearing. And what I'm wearing here is a plastic rim frame. Now, if you look at this frame, you will discover that there is a rim round the lens, right? There is a rim surrounding the lens, and this rim around the lens helps to protect the lens from breaking. So this is what we call a rim frame. Another type of frame that you can choose again is what we call semi-rimless frame, and this is what we call semi-rimless frame. A semi-rimless frame is a frame that partially guards the lens, either on the upper section or on the lower section. Like for instance, the frame I am putting on now, you will notice that the upper section is actually protected. There is a rim covering the upper section. You can see the golden color of the upper section. This is a metallic rim guarding the frame. Now, the lower section is exposed. This is just only the lens. The only thing that is supporting the lens on the lower section is a loop, and this is what we call a loop. If you look at this, this is an example of a semi-rimless frame. Now, if you look at this frame that I'm showing you now, you discover there is a rim on the upper section, but on the lower section, there is no rim. So, in this type of glass I'm wearing, what is holding the lens in place underneath is the loop, and this is the loop. And how it is done is that in between the lens, a recess is made where the loop is placed in to hold the lens firm. So, this is another type of frame you can choose. Then the last one you can choose is what we call rimless frame, and this is what we call rimless frame. This is a rimless frame. A rimless frame is a frame that has no rim at all. The lens is completely exposed, and the only thing that is connecting this lens to the other lens is the nose bridge. And again, another thing about rimless frame again is that the temple is what we call the handle. The temple is directly attached to the lens. If you look at this lens very closely, you will discover that this temple, or what we call the handle, is kind of attached directly to this lens. There is a drilling made on the lens where the temple is fixed into. A lot of people prefer rimless frame to rimmed frame or semi-rimmed frame. And why some people prefer rimless frame is because, number one, it is very light. As you can see, this frame I'm putting on, you can see it is very light. Apart from the lens, the only other thing that is on this lens is just the handle, of which you can see how tiny the handle is, and again the nose bridge. so it does not carry any weight, unlike in this full rim that I'm wearing, where there is a lot of materials. So this is why people like it, because it does not have weight. Another reason why again people wear it is because it is almost invisible. Let's take for instance, as I'm putting it on, if you are not careful, you may not know that I'm putting on an eyeglass, because there are no things that are covering your face, so it leaves your face clear and almost like your face. So a lot of people wear it, particularly first time wearers, and particularly those that never, there are people that don't like wearing glasses at all, and maybe over time they get to the age where wearing glass becomes inevitable, and because they never want to wear glass, they resort to using rimless. At least rimless makes it look as if they are not wearing glass. Rimless is almost seemingly invisible when you put it on. So that is why some people wear it. Another reason why people wear rimless frame again is because it is cheap, so to say. But here in Nigeria, rimless frame is not cheap. And come to think of it, I think rimless frame should be cheap, because what is it made up of? The plastic that is in it, during the time you are going to wear your glass, is going to be removed, and it's your lens that will be fitted in. So the only material on rimless frame is just the handle and then the nose bridge. That is it. Unlike in these other ones, where you will say there are a lot of materials that they use in forming it, creating all manner of designs and all of that. But in rimless, there are no such thing, not even a loop. In rimless frame, there are no loop. What I mean by loop is this, I showed you earlier. So this is the reason why people like using rimless frame. Another reason why people like rimless frame is because it is fashionable. You can use it for corporate wear, casual wear, traditional wear, no matter whatever you want to put on, rimless frame fit in perfectly. Okay, unlike in the case of rim, there are some kind of rim you wear, you'll be looking so serious, like a lecturer or like a judge, or that kind of a thing. But in rimless is very simple. It makes you unassuming. It fits into every occasion. It fits into every fashion, styles whatsoever, and that is why a whole lot of people like putting on rimless frame. But like I've said, rimless frame comes with a lot of disadvantages, and that is why you see people have challenges of their rimless frame breaking every now and then. In fact, what made me to start discussing this is because of a patient that I gave glass last week, and in less than 1 week the glass is already broken. And it really grieved me, because I know how much the patient spent in doing that glass. And that is why I have decided to share with us on how to handle our rimless frame so that it does not break, so that it serves the purpose for which you have paid for it. There are so many disadvantages of rimless, and these disadvantages you have to have in mind. You have to bear them in mind if you really want to wear rimless, so as to save yourself of that regret of having paid or fitted your lens in a rimless frame. And some of these disadvantages are: number one, rimless frames are very delicate. They are very fragile, and because of that, they are prone to break. You must have that in mind. And because of that, if you must wear a rimless frame, then you must have another pair of spectacles. You must have another spare spectacle somewhere, so that should it break anytime, you can see another glass to lay hand on. I do not encourage you to have only rimless frame if you choose to use it. As you are doing a rimless frame, also have a backup, and that backup should be a semi-rimless frame or a full rimmed frame, because it is very delicate and fragile. Another disadvantage of rimless frame is that it does not have styles, unlike in rim frame where you can see something like cat eye, maybe rectangular shape, circular shape, and the rest of them. In rimless frame, you have limited styles and fashions. Another disadvantage of rimless frame is that not all powers can fit into rimless frame. Once a lens is higher than +6 diopter sphere, it can no longer fit in perfectly into a rimless frame. But if it were to be semi-rimless frame or a full rim frame, it can fit into it. And again, for high power lenses, it's not fashionable doing it in a rimless frame. So if you must wear a rimless frame, as I'm wearing here, you must use either these very two types of lens material, and that is either polycarbonate or trivex lenses. These lenses have impact resistance such that when you fit in the lens into it, it can be able to stay. If you use normal plastic lens like CR39, photochromic lenses and the rest of them to fit into rimless frame, it will break easily. In fact, I can't guarantee you that for 1 month, except you are exceptionally careful. Normal standard lenses can work perfectly in a rimmed frame like this or semi-rimmed frame like this. You can only use these two lens materials, and that is polycarbonate lens or trivex lens. This is because these lenses have high impact resistance. Normal plastic lenses like CR39, normal photochromic lens and the rest of them can only work well when you fit them in a full rim frame like this or in a semi-rimless frame like this. That is the only frame you can fit in normal plastic lens. But once it comes to using rimless frame, then you must use either polycarbonate or trivex lenses. If you use normal lenses, then get ready for your lens to be breaking every now and then. The reason why you cannot use normal lenses on rimless frame is because they do not have impact resistance, and that is why when you fix it, just at the verge of wearing it, it can break. I'm sorry for the power outage, but I have to continue with the presentation. So if you must wear a rimless frame, if you think that rimless frame is what you really prefer, then I'll have to show you how to use it so that it does not break easily. Remember, I have just told you that a rimless frame has no support. There is no rim guarding it. It is only the frame which is attached directly to the lens and then the bridge that is holding the two lenses together. Other than that, there is no other support. So that makes it very delicate and fragile. So if you must wear a rimless frame, there are a whole lot of things you need to put into consideration, and there are a whole lot of meticulous measures you must take in order to enjoy your rimless frame. Number one is you dare not wear your frame like this. Rimless frame is not the type of frame that you wear and you keep it like this. This is because your head may be bigger than your facial size, and if you put it there, you'll be exerting pressure on the frame. Whenever you're not wearing your eyeglass, your rimless frame, please make sure that you put it back into the case. And the choice of case for rimless frame is a hard case and not a zip case. The reason why you need a hard case is because it is made up of metallic or hard material, such that even if you climb on it or there is an impact, it does not affect the rimless directly. But if you use a fiber case like this, even ordinary hand can mount pressure, and that pressure will transfer to the rimless and it breaks automatically. So for a rimless wearer, what you need to have or buy is a hard case. Assuming you are in an office or you found yourself where you are not having your case, an occasion warrants you to remove your eyeglass. Now, this is how to drop your eyeglass. You drop your eyeglass like this. Don't ever drop your glass like this, or like this, or like this. This is how you will drop your glass. This is the perfect way to drop your glass. Another measure you can take in order to protect your rimless frame is Try to use your two hands whenever you're wearing it. Whenever you want to wear your rimless frame, always have it in mind that it's a fragile and delicate frame. Hold it by the edge, support the lens with your hand towards the rim, and gently slide it in. That is how to wear it. Do not wear your rimless frame this way or remove it this way. If you do it, the pressure will be on this lens. Are you seeing? Because there is no support, it has no support. So if you do it, the pressure will be on the frame, on this edge, and also on the nose bridge. And if you do it consistently, it will definitely break either at this temple side, or it will break at the nose side. So if you must wear it, you will hold it like this to put it on, and when you want to remove it, you must hold it and bring it out. Nothing like this and nothing like this. Please, that is not how to use it. Each time you do it like this, if it were in plastic frame, if you try to pull this, it's only the frame that you are mounting pressure on. It does not have an effect on the lens. So you can afford to do that. You can afford to do that. You can afford to do that. Whatever pressure you are mounting is on the rim and not on the lens. Whatever pressure you are mounting on your glass has direct impact on the rim and not on the lens. But in the case of rimless frame, whatever pressure you mount is directly on the lens. If you touch the temple, automatically you're already mounting pressure on the frame. Look at it, because if you look at it, you discover that the frame is drilled. If you look at it, you discover that the lens is drilled and the frame is directly attached to the lens. So any pressure you mount will have effect on the lens and also towards the nose bridge. And if you're not careful, it will crack from this edge or from this edge. So the best way is to hold it when you want to wear it. Hold it, support it a little, and put it on. And when you want to remove it, you remove it. And that is why you must buy your size. If you're wearing a rimless frame, make sure what you're buying is your size, so that once you're putting it in, it will slide in quietly. It will slide in easily. And when you want to remove it, it comes out easily. If you buy a rimless that is so tight or that is not your size, you will find out that you will be trying to, drag the hand a little bit in order for you to wear it, and by so doing you will be creating pressure on the handle side or by the nose bridge, which is not good, because consistent doing of that can bring about breakage of the lens. Another thing you need to have in mind is, if you choose to wear a rimless frame, also try and get another spare of it somewhere, so that should it break, you have something to fall on. You don't need to buy a rimless frame and have it just alone. Once you have made up your mind you want to wear a rimless frame, you will always make sure you have a spare, so that should anything happen to it, you will have something to fall on. Another thing about rimless frame is, you make sure you check for its adjustment every 1 week or 2. If you look at this frame now, if you look at this lens, you discover it's shaking. If you look at this lens, you will discover it is shaking. That is because it is not well adjusted. So if you want to wear a rimless frame, from time to time you have to take it to an optician to help you do the adjustment and set it, or you take it to an optometrist as well to help you check it and do the adjustment. But don't leave it to start sliding one way or the other. If it starts to slide, what it means is that the knot has started losing. If you notice that your frame is no longer sitting firmly on your face, if you notice that it's not sliding, that means that the knots are beginning to lose. So the next thing you need to do is to take it to an optician to adjust it and make them firm. Because if you leave it in that loose state or in that maladjusted state, that may lead to quick breakage of the lens. Another thing again you need to do about your rimless frame is, you don't drop your rimless frame on the car dashboard or expose it to a heat. If you do that, the lens will expand and that may affect the firmness of the lens, and that will also expose you to easy breakage when it comes across any slightest impact. If you must clean your lens, number one, make sure you wash your hand very properly. Number two, this is how you remove your lens, and when you want to clean it, you hold it. Make sure your frame is balanced on your hand. And it is good to clean your rimless frame in water. Maybe get a bowl of water and do it so that you will not have to mount so much pressure when you are cleaning it. You don't clean your rimless frame when it is dry. If you clean it when it's dry, number one, the lens will get scratched. Number two, you may have that likelihood to amount much more pressure in order to clean it, and that will also create a pressure on the handle of the lens or on the bridge, which will in turn lead to breakage. So put it in water. Soak it in water, use your hand and run over the surfaces both outside and inside of the lens to get it loose, and then after you've done, you bring it out and then pat it dry gently, and then pat it dry gently. Don't start cleaning when it's dry and be doing it rubbing it so before you know it, it will get broken. Thank you so much. If you really like this presentation, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and also share for others to watch. Till next time, bye for now.